if you watch the next episode, you'll see that I'm actually going to start stacking up easy clue scroll caskets, and by episode 20 I should have 1,000 of them, and I'm going to be opening 1,000 easy clue scroll caskets on episode 20, so...
Wait a minute, let's run that back.
And by episode 20 I should have 1,000 of them.
So, awkward pause for a moment here. During the stream, I said I was recording these clips as well, and while that might have been true, I actually wasn't recording my microphone. So, you guys are going to have to listen to a voiceover of all of this. Fortunately for me though, the stream is still saved on the YouTube channel, so if you do want to see it live, you can always go ahead and watch the stream, but be warned, it is about 3 hours and 20 minutes long, and it's split in half, which actually makes it about 4 hours long. But yeah, I'm going to be cutting up some of the clips, and as you'll see here, we completed off the last clue, putting us to 1,000 caskets. Then we headed over to the rock and grabbed the collection log, and then we made our way over to Taverley, where we are going to open all of our caskets. We teleported over to Burthorpe and made our way down to the Taverley house portal, where everyone was waiting. We started off with the clues, and our first unique was a black plate body G. Don't worry, I'm not going to be going through all of the uniques, just thought I'd mention the first one. I also will be highlighting some of the bigger items that we get from this, some of the ones that we've been looking for, like the Master Scroll Book, and alongside some of the other cool cosmetic items. On clue number 27, we got a Master Clue Scroll, which we could not complete. Surprise, surprise. Not long after this, we tried to store the stuff in the house, only to realise that I'm an absolute moron and did not know where to store it. And even then, I didn't know that I had to switch the mode on the chest to easy clues, and I was trying to store easy rewards in the beginner chest. On clue number 80, we managed to get a trimmed wizard top, which is part of one of the most important sets that I wanted to get, which is the Blue Wizzy T robe set, and that's because this is one of the coolest skiller outfits back in the day. On clue number 108, we got our first Master Scroll Book, so we can finally store all the scrolls in the book, and this is one of the main items that I wanted from the casket grind. Moving on to casket 138, we got our first big ticket item with the Team Cape Eye. This is worth about 2 mil, but we did go ahead and store it in the house. On clue number 206, we managed to get a set of flared trousers, another really cool item for a level 3 skiller. On clue number 278, we got ourselves a Bob's Red shirt. Now the reason I'm bringing this up is because I accidentally left this one on the floor, and someone ended up picking it up, so we did manage to lose this, but as you'll see future on in the video, it really didn't matter. On clue number 381, we got our second big ticket item with the ham joint, followed along on clue 399 with a second ham joint. Now, I only needed one of these for the house, but the second one just adds a whole load of money that I can put into bonds. On clue number 400, we got ourselves a Highwayman mask, and I decided to put this one in the video because this is another really cool item that I used to idolize back in the day. So at this point in the stream, the guys asked me to show off some of the items that we had got from the caskets. So we went into the house, equipped the ham joint and the flared trousers, along with a few other random items that we've been getting from clues, just to change up the outfit a little bit. On casket 498, we got ourselves a replacement Bob's red shirt, which is one of the reasons why I mentioned it didn't even matter earlier, because we did get a duplicate of this. Here we have casket number 500, the halfway point where we are awarded the complimentary large spade. At this point we took a quick break and had a mess about with some of the outfits that we had got. By this point we had actually obtained the entire Wizzy gold trimmed set, which is amazing because just like the normal Wizzy trim set, this is another really iconic Skiller outfit. Moving on to casket 630 where we get our third ham joint. And at casket 657 we got ourselves a Team Cape X, which I nearly left on the ground, but thanks to the help of the stream chat and the people that were there with me in game, I managed to find it and still stash it inside the house. On casket 670 we got our second Master Scroll book, and then on casket 689 we got ourselves a rainbow. Now this is another really cool item that I wanted to get because it kind of like the training bow being an iconic item for Skillers, the rainbow looks really cool on a Skiller. And then on casket 699 we got ourselves a third Master Scroll book. On casket 763 we got ourselves a black kite shield trimmed. Now unfortunately I accidentally dropped this because my inventory was full and didn't realise that I dropped it until too late, so even though this item is on the collection log, it was not stored in the house. On casket 779 we got ourselves another Bob's red shirt. And then at casket 824 we got ourselves another Bob's red shirt, alongside a golden chef's hat, which is another really cool item to get. On our 846th casket we got our fourth ham joint. On casket 872 we got another Bob's red shirt. On casket 881 we got our fourth Master Scroll book. At this point I was running quite low on inventory space, so we headed over to Watson so that I could trade in my spare Master Scroll books for some Watson scrolls. We traded them in and then added them to the book. Back to clues, and at casket number 887 we got ourselves a Cape of Skulls. Now this is a massive item to get from Easy Clues, as I believe it is the most valuable item you can get from Easy Clues. So we spent a few minutes modelling it with some of the guys from the stream, just enjoying the view, and also the fact that being an Ultimate Iron Man and having a skull doesn't have any differences. I only realised this during the stream. On casket 965 we got ourselves another Bob's red shirt, and after about 4 hours of opening Clue Scroll caskets, we open up our final Clue Scroll for a Master Scroll book. What a way to end this journey. The whole reason I started doing caskets is so I could get the Master Scroll book, and it just so happens to be the last item I get. That is all the loot that we got from the caskets. Now let's pass over to some live commentary. Quick pause before we continue. I just wanted to thank you all during this very long journey, but I also have one request. Normally I don't ask for these, but as it is such a huge occasion, if we can beat 100 likes on this video, I will attempt 100 medium caskets in the future. I would really appreciate the support. Also, just a small mention, I recently obtained channel membership and currently only have one tier available. If you wanted to support me a little further, I'd really appreciate it by clicking the join button down below. However, you guys already do so much, so please do not feel required to. I appreciate all the support you guys provide me. Back to the video. Okay, so here we are, looking swanky as anything outside the house portal where we left off. If we look at the inventory, here is all the stuff that I have chosen to keep for now. I'm basically just going to be dropping this over for bonds, but let's have a quick price check of all of this. We got 4 Blue Wizard Robe Gs in the end, because obviously got one in the house as well. Let's stash these. I am wearing an Amulet of Power and a few other pieces, so this isn't entirely accurate, but there's a good load of money of there that we're going to be selling off. We've got another ham joint here, and we still have another one in the house as well. We did get a total of 4, so that is amazing. Let's have a quick look and see how much the purple sweets are in total. 3.1 mil, or 3.2 mil, near enough. That is incredible. But what I'm going to do now is quickly just switch over this gear for my graceful, and I'm going to drop all these items over to another account. Okay, so that is everything sorted. We are re-geared in our graceful. I decided to rock the golden tench for a little while, seeing as I don't actually need the Brumatort right now. We're also just going to drop these bronze plate legs, as they're actually only worth like 1k, so I didn't bother keeping hold of them. And you might have noticed we did actually have a master clue in the inventory. I'm just going to try and do this for a bit of fun. I'm assuming I won't be able to, but it's not a big deal if I can't. Also, you may have a keen eye to notice that I have seaweed and Harrowlanders in my bag, and if you're smart enough you'll have worked out, yes, I died. If you've been in the stream, I did mention this previously, but I did die just before finishing off all the caskets, and that is why I've kept these out, because I'm planning to use up these seaweed. They've been lingering around in the looting bag for a while, and honestly I should really get on and do some crafting. I really want to get 75, I just have been putting it off for so long that I haven't felt like doing it. Before we head over to attempt this clue though, I'm going to quickly run down to Watson and trade in this spare scroll book. I also want to mention that I'm just going to briefly show on the screen a scroll look of the loots that I got from the clues. I had it tracking on Runelight so that you guys could see it. It was about 82 mil worth of items in the end. Obviously this only accounts if I carried everything and picked it all up, which as an ultimate was really awkward to do, so I didn't end up doing that. I did still retain about 60 mil or so loot regardless though. The guys at the stream managed to pick up the rest of the stuff, so good on you. But let's trade in this last and final book that I don't need, and we'll keep the other one. So let's trade this in, get us some more scrolls and use them on the other book. Now unfortunately for me, while I was doing clue scrolls to make some space, I dropped my Ardy cloak, so we are minigame teleporting over to the fishing trawler so we can run up and get another Ardy cloak, which will make it slightly easier to get back to Ardy in the future. But for now we do need to head over to Sherlock, who is north of Sears Village. So, now that I actually went to the correct person, originally I was getting him confused with Fallow the Bard, let's see what he asks me for. Is it even going to be possible? I sincerely doubt it. No. It was worth a try. So, for the rest of this video, I'm mainly going to be working on doing some quick herb lore and getting some stuff prepped for crafting. I might make a start on it in this episode, who knows. I'm going to head over to Taverley so I can grab a pestle and mortar as well as some vials of water, so that I can make all of these Harrowlanders into energy potions, and that's always going to help me with the crafting grind. Also, I've just realised I completed an easy task in the Kandarin area. I have no idea what that is. Just curious. Oh, it's just to speak to Sherlock. I didn't even realise that was a task. Okay, so we got our supplies, and you guys might remember where we're heading, over to Nada. And if you haven't watched me do this before, it's because in Nada there is a person that can note your potions, as well as someone that sells chocolate bars. Before we head down to Nada though, I'm going to quickly head over to Diango and buy back our Chronicle, because it was another item that we did destroy while we were doing Clue Scrolls, just so we could wear some more Clue Scroll gear basically. But we do have the Chronicle back, and let's head over and get some herb lore done. Grabbing a water skin so I don't die. Whee! And that is going to be all the Harrowlanders used up. We've got a bunch of energy potions now that we can be using for crafting, and I think what I'm going to do here is just decant all these up and get myself ready to mine some sandstone, as I do need to collect a whole bunch of buckets of sand to train crafting with. So with all the energy potions ready, let's get on with mining some sandstone. There is 71 mining. And here we have 72 mining. Okay, so if we go ahead and hand in these last pieces of sandstone, this just puts us to the point of what we need. We're a little bit over, but that's fine. We do now need to go and get some buckets though, because he only has 500 buckets in here. So we're actually just going to head up to the Dwarven Mines, because we're going to go sell off this pickaxe as well, as we won't be needing it anymore, and I will be needing the inventory space as well. So we're going to head over to the Dwarven Mine, and we're going to go and grab ourselves about 8,000 buckets, and then we're going to head back down and grab ourselves all the sand. And there we go, that should be enough buckets purchased. We are now going to quickly trade Nerm off, and we're going to sell off this rune pickaxe, which we've had for quite some time, but honestly going to need the inventory space when it comes to doing crafting. Do need to sell off the rune axe to the woodcutting guild at some point. In fact, I might head over there right now and do that, because we can always teleport over to Glade and we can take the shortcut over to sell the axe. It has just occurred to me that I still have the pestle and mortar from making the energy potions. We don't need this. I didn't realise I still had it. Right, let's set off this axe and get ourselves 7.6k back. And we're going to also drop the Ardy cloak. We won't be needing that. We need to keep hold of the seed box, the coins. I will be stashing in last man standing, but we do need these to get our buckets of sand first. So we're going to head down to the desert and grab all of them. Just realised I sold the axe, so it looks like we're going to be walking down the riverside. Alright then, so let's store these buckets with Drew, and we should be able to withdraw 8634, which is exactly this times 6. Apparently I didn't have enough coins. Awkward. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen. Let's claim the rest of the sand. Another 827, and that should put us exactly where we need to be. We're going to drop the rest of these coins because we need the inventory space now, and we're going to head up to Edgeville. So, a quick thing that I completely forgot, I picked up the coins again because I'm going to need them. I'm just using the Xerix talisman because it's the closest way of getting to a charter ship that I could think of. I need to go and grab a glass blowing pipe. Completely forgot about this. So, I'm going to take a boat across to Port Sarim, and we'll use the charter ship there to grab our glass blowing pipe, and then we'll head over to Edgeville. Right, so we are finally geared up and ready to start on some crafting and just dropping the water skins, but we are going to end off this episode here because I'm going to be grinding out a whole lot of crafting for the next episode. Finally going to use up all this seaweed that's been sat in the looting bag for so long. I've not been looking forward to this, but I really want to get it out of the way. As always guys, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit that like button. Really want to get that 100 likes for this video, and I will try and do the 100 medium caskets. As usual, if you're not subscribed already, hit that button too, and I'll see you guys next week for another upload.